If you're a longtime listener to the show, you are well aware that last fall I published a book all about helping women to more consistently self-honor. But here's the thing that I've learned, having published the book, is what does that mean? And the reason I point that out is because it means something different to all of us. And I do highlight that in the book, absolutely. But before the principles in the book can really do their work, you have to answer that question for yourself. So that's what we're going to explore a little bit of today. Welcome to your daily hit of Grace and Grit, your quick dose of inspiration to kickstart your day. I'm Courtney Townley, and here is today's hit. There's a step that most people skip when they're trying to build a healthier, more self-honoring life. And skipping it is why so many of the frameworks and systems and programs that people sign up for eventually fall flat. And that step is getting radically clear on your values, on what health is to you at this age and stage of life. What is success? What is enough? What actually matters to you? What are the standards you want to hold yourself to? On what health and a good life actually look like for you, not for anyone else, not for the wellness industry, not for your Instagram feed, but for you at this age and stage. I've been referencing this a lot lately as living your code. And without it, the principles in my book, as useful as I believe they are essentially pointing in a direction that you've never chosen. And I do talk a lot about the power vision and the power statement, which is all an exercise in helping you to get clear on what you're working towards. But I think that there's more work to that exercise than even what the book offers. So I want to reframe this for you because I want to be really clear that your code that you're living by, which a lot of you do not have a code by design right now, right? You just have a code of default. Your default might be cultural standards. It might be your parents' standards. It might be your coworkers or your spouses. Like you've been living for so long under the code of other people, you've never stopped to question your own. And your code is not a list of goals. I want to be really clear about that. It's not a set of affirmations. It's something much deeper than that. It's the answer to questions like, what do I value? Not what do I think I should value? What kind of woman do I want to be in 5, 10, 20 years? What standards am I willing to hold myself to in devotion to her? What am I no longer willing to tolerate? And what are the standards I've been chasing because someone else told me they mattered? These are not easy questions. They're really easy to avoid because they often make us wildly uncomfortable. But they are some of the most important ones you're ever going to sit with. Because when you know your own code, everything else becomes clear. I always say clarity is the mother of discipline, but I also think clarity is the mother of devotion. When we know what's important to us, it is so much easier to be devoted, and we show up for the things that we are devoted to all the time, no matter how we feel. The decisions will get easier. The consistency becomes less about willpower and a lot more about alignment, right? I talk a lot about alignment in the consistency code, and this is what I mean. It's alignment with your own standards. You're not forcing yourself to do things, you're choosing them because they are in service of something that you have decided actually matters. Without knowing your code as an individual, you are going to go through life essentially chasing rainbows. You might be working really hard. You might be following a very good program. But if it's not rooted in your own values and your own vision that you have for your life, it's not going to hold. And I see this a lot. Women who are highly disciplined about things that don't actually matter to them and deeply inconsistent about the things that do matter to them. And the mismatch between their actions and their actual values creates a kind of internal friction that's exhausting. I always call that integrity pain. And they cannot figure out why they keep burning out or falling off track. The code is one reason, right? Knowing their code, or rather the absence of one, not having one. I can't tell you the number of people I've worked with over the years who have been chasing a weight loss goal or chasing a PR in the gym or chasing running a marathon. I don't know what it is about marathons. It seems like, a lot of people set that as a goal. And you know what? If that truly lights you up, that is awesome. Pursue it. If you like your reasons for doing it. But if you're doing it just because it seems like the thing to do, or you've never paused to question why you're pursuing it, you're just using the outside world's filter to make your decisions, even if you do it, you're never going to feel successful. So getting clear on your code does not require a, week-long retreat or even working with a coach or weeks of journaling. Although I will say all those things can help. But it starts with, again, asking honest questions. And again, if you haven't read my book, The Consistency Code, the end of every chapter is a list of really good questions. But some of the things you might want to consider to get clear on your own code are things like, what would I not be willing to give up no matter how busy life gets? What do I want to be true about my health at 70? That's not true right now. What standards am I holding that belong to someone else's idea of a good life? What standards am I avoiding because claiming them would mean I actually have to live up to them? What do I want my future self to thank me for? So that 75-year-old version of me, that 90-year-old version of me, what is she going to thank me so deeply for leaning into? Sit with those. Write them down. Let them be messy, imperfect, evolving. They're going to change. Because your code is not something that you just get clear on one time, right? It's something you keep returning to, refining, and recommitting to throughout your life. So my invitation to you is before you try another program or another protocol or another push for some goal out there, do this work first. Get clear on what you value at this stage. Is this the best use of your time and energy to pursue this thing, whatever that thing is? Get straight on your standards. Know what you are being consistent towards, because everything else flows from there. So this is the exact work that I do every Tuesday in my Live the Code lives on Substack. So those videos are a behind-the-scenes look at how I apply these principles in my own life in real time, including, and I would say even highlighting, the really messy parts. It's for paid Substack members. It's 20 minutes or less every week. I would love to see you there. You can just go over to Substack, which you can find either through your browser or you can download the free app on your phone and just look for me. A Little Bit of Grace and Grit is my handle, or you could look up my account by my name, Courtney Townley. I hope to see you there. If this stirred something inside of you, imagine what a whole book of clarity and courage could ignite. The Consistency Code, a midlife woman's guide to deep health and happiness, goes even deeper into the mindset and practices that create real, meaningful change at midlife. Grab your copy today over at theconsistencycode.com and keep the momentum alive.